In the Trenches with Ryan Roxie.
This is one of the most talked about as far as just guitar players talk about urban legends and, did it happen? Did it not happen? You always want to hear it from the horse's mouth. So let's hear it from the horse that actually played it. This comes around the time of the famous story of Train Kept A Rollin', and it was right around the same type of years. So you were in the studio again. Was it one of those studios? Was it the record plant in New York that this whole thing went down with Aerosmith? And again, the name Jack Douglas, another great producer.
Awesome.
I actually worked with Jack on the Slash the Snake Pit record. Jack Douglas made some of my favorite Cheap Trick album, the very first Cheap Trick album, and of course all the great Aerosmith albums. Worked with John Lennon, legendary guy. He's producing Aerosmith in the studio. You're in the studio right around that same time. What happens?
Well, okay, so you have to remember that at that time, Jack Douglas was co-producing with Ray Colcord. Ray Colcord played keyboards for the Lou Reed Live album and the Rock and Roll Animal album. He was on that tour and he was on those albums.
Another connection.
They were co-producing.
And but another connection from you into this. Yeah.
Well, I knew Jack almost as well as I knew Ray. So we were all buds, and we'd all worked together and done all sorts of different things. And I was sitting in the lobby, but I was supposed to be doing an overdub in Studio A, which at that time was the really big room. And we tended to like that room for guitar sounds because the room added to the sound and made it sound great. So, but Bob had to do some major two-inch tape editing. And I knew that when he had to do that, I better just leave the room and let him get to it because it takes a lot of concentration. You remember you're cutting tape in those days. It's not as easy as it is in Pro Tools.
Right. So, it's not cut and paste. It's actually literally razor
with cut and paste.
Trying to cut and tape, I guess it would be, because there'd be a lot of tape.
They had to put tape on, tape it together. It was crazy, man.
And you'd hear that thing go.
Yeah. And I was in the lobby. So I went out in the lobby, and the record plant had a little tiny lobby. And right across from me is Studio B, which is a smaller studio. And I was having a cigarette. That's when I used to smoke, and I was just having a cigarette, let Bob get to it. And the door opens up in B, and there's Jack Douglas. And he looked right at me and he said, "Do you feel like playing?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I'd rather play than sit here." And he said, "All right, well, let me go ask Bob." So he went in Studio A and asked Bob if it was okay if he borrowed me for a little bit. And Bob said, "Sure, no problem." And then there was this wonderful twin tweed amplifier that the record plant owned. It was the most gorgeous sounding amp I've ever played through. He grabbed that, he brought it into Studio B, and I came in the room, and there's the whole band, and they're all standing there leaning against the wall and saying, I met them all, said hi to everybody. They're all nice guys.
Now, had you met them before that this happened? Had you ever have you run across them? So you'd never met Aerosmith. They're making one of their first records, and you just walk in, say hello, how you doing? I will be taking it from here.
Well, no, it was really, I didn't know what he wanted me to do. I didn't know whether it was going to be a rhythm part or a solo. I didn't know at that stage. I just figured maybe he wanted me to bolster up a rhythm part or something. So I get in the studio and we plug into the twin, and then he finally says, just kind of play through the song, And I said, okay, well, I usually do that anyway because it's how I warm up. And I didn't know the song, at least not the way they were doing it. They had done a different arrangement. So
the song we're talking about, folks, is the infamous "Train Kept A Rollin'," which is an old blues song with the original artist, who like one arm Lemon Chitlin. I don't know. It was like probably one of those names of like a blues guy, right? And again, our chat room will help.
I heard it once. It's a good song. The way he did it was really cool. I mean, how Beck heard it to do it his way and everything is very cool. But anyway, so I'm going to play through the thing. Okay, so I put on the headphones and I'm just jamming through the thing like an idiot, just noodling around. And Jack gets on the talk line and he said, "Man, that's great, but you're kind of stepping on the vocal." I said, "Well, I don't hear any vocal in the headphones." "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you did." So he puts the vocals in, And I said, okay, I thought we were just going to do another warm-up pass. So
Yeah, another
I'm
pass.
just noodling away again. And we get to the end of it, and then Jack says, oh, that's great. Thanks a lot. And I said, whoa, wait. I'm just warming up. You know, I'm just trying things. What you played is it. That's it. You're done. Thanks a lot. That was it.
Isn't that the way things go sometimes? Some of the best work you've ever done is just like, you just did it. You weren't even thinking about it.
No.
You just, wow.
It's
and
the
so
best way. It's the best way to play solo. Don't even think about it. Just play. You know,
so
just
that
go for
song that we listen to this day, though, that original Train Kept A Rollin, your solo, is it the first solo? Is it peppered in throughout the song?
It's all through the first part. The song is broken into two parts. One of them is the studio kind of version, and then there's this sort of pseudo live version that it goes into. It's not live, but it's made to sound live, and that's Dick Wagner. Dick Wagner's playing that one.
Okay.
That's solo.
Wow.
So the two of us are on it.
The two of you guys that now did that. So in your solo that happened, it's to this day is again just is it the first pass or the second pass or maybe cut in between the two of them? Or
no, it was the second pass. It was
just the second pass.
Yeah.
And you never recorded it for real, like quote unquote for real.
I didn't know I did. It was just I was just having fun playing. It's a great thing to play over. You know, I was having a ball. I'm just going for stuff, you know, but that's what they wanted. They wanted that kind of angst, you know, that and I hadn't even had time to think about, well, what should I play here? I maybe should do this kind. I didn't have time to think about any of that. I just played it and I had a ball doing it. And then they said, okay, you're done. I thought, oh man, I'm just getting ready to play.
So there's Bohemian Rhapsody solos that I'm sure was constructed over a long period of time. And then there's, Train Kept A Rollin, both iconic, both just as, and then I've heard that about solos, but that sometimes they just happen in one pass and that's it. I was told, one of my favorite guitar solos is what is it by what's his name, Gus from the Knack, My Sharona, the long version of My Sharona. That guitar solo I heard was done in one pass, but who knows, maybe it's urban legend again. But I'm glad we got to this true story of what happened. Second pass, that was it. And again, you and Dick Wagner both appear on that song. But then you appeared on so many other songs. Hello folks, Roxie here. Thanks for watching the video. And if you liked it, hit the subscribe button or one of the videos around me to watch more. If you'd like to, please leave a comment. If you didn't like the video, maybe you'll forget how to type.